When you need to know.
Highway 17's a mess this morning.
When time matters to you.
Sadly, still a big backup.
Rely on your Northern California Honda Dealers Traffic Center.
From the traffic leader, KCBS.
KCBS News Time, 4:41. KCBS is featuring Bay Area heroes who are working to create a positive change in their communities during this pandemic. We've been featuring people like this for months now. And in this week's Difference Makers, KCBS reporter Carrie Hudasek spoke to a South Bay teenager who started his own baking nonprofit to raise some cash for those impacted by the pandemic.
It's called Chefin' for Charity, a nonprofit started by rising Cupertino High School senior Jonathan Din.
When the coronavirus started and we went into quarantine, I found myself baking basically every single day. And obviously I can't eat everything by myself.
So he started selling his baked goods to different charities each month.
I really wanted to find a way to do my part during all this.
Over the last few months, he's been able to raise more than $2,500 for groups like the COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund, No Kid Hungry California, the NAACP, and Save the Children. He says baking has allowed him to connect with people who need help the most on a personal level.
Cupcakes, brownies, cookies. This week, I'm doing lemon bars. There's something really special about a home-baked good, especially coming from someone that you know or that you're close to.
Right now, he's only making deliveries in the South Bay. His goal is to reach even more communities.
Either Sunday or Monday, I'll post the menu. So they'll message me, so either through Instagram DM or Facebook Messenger, with whatever they want for that week. So whether it's a dozen cupcakes, I get your address and payment, and then I'll drive and deliver on the doorstep so everything stays contactless.
Jonathan says it's been enlightening to see young people like him step up in times of crisis. He hopes more people his age will use their talents to do some good.
There's a lot of stuff that people would be doing anyway during this time if they're able to find a way to make what they would be doing anyway into something that can have a large-scale impact.
You can find Jonathan on Facebook and Instagram by searching Chefin' for Charity. Jonathan Din, making a difference. Carrie Hudasek, KCBS.
Great stories like that. We love to share them. So if you know someone who is working to keep us safe during this pandemic and you'd like to nominate them as a KCBS Difference Maker, just email differencemakers@kcbsradio.com.
Get the outdoor living space you've always dreamed of during the System Pavers Steep Summer Savings Event. With no interest financing through 2022 for orders placed by July 31st, you can enjoy your redesigned outdoor space now and pay over time. Whether you need a new paver walkway, a custom hardscape or yard design, outdoor lighting, or anything in between, System Pavers can make your vision come to life. And because most projects are completed in less than a week, you'll be able to enjoy your new space almost as fast as you can say, "The neighbors will be so jealous." Schedule your free design consultation today and see how easy it is to bring new life to your outdoor spaces. Visit SystemPavers.com or call us at 800-PAVE-004. That's 800-PAVE-004. System Pavers, outdoor living designed around you. Project installation must commence within 60 days of purchase. Financing subject to third-party credit approval. Contractor's license 661575.
We're your connection.
There's a history there. It's not a good history, but it reflects on us, and we can look back on it in the future. Because if we tear down history, we're going to end up recreating it somehow.
We are the team that's always covering your community.
At San Francisco's Coit Tower, Kathy Novak, KCBS.
We are your news station, KCBS.
Coming up on KCBS, South Bay water officials need your help tracking down signs, and they're offering some prizes and cash. More on that coming up in about 6 minutes. First, though, sports time, and here's Kevin Radich.
Last time we mentioned the platform that A's second baseman Tony Kemp has opened up to discuss issues of race in America. After the death of George Floyd, Kemp felt compelled to go on Twitter and invite his followers to ask him questions and open a dialogue. He has heard from people of all different backgrounds and beliefs. Some of the exchanges have been tough, but Tony is patient and open-minded.
Honestly, it's been actually therapeutic just to be able to hear the responses and hear how people have been responding to it. And it makes me feel great. It makes me feel, with a platform, with a voice, being able to tell people, just because, you feel like you have no voice, you do. And being able to let people talk to their inner circles and really understand what we're doing is very positive. And I will say I've been sleeping very well at night knowing that I feel like I've been helping change the world. I can say that.
He calls the program the Plus One Effect. In fact, this week he relayed a text message sent to him from one of his former Houston Astros teammates.
I put it on my Instagram because I felt like it was good, but he said, "Hey, brother, just wanted to say that, dude, everything you've been doing has opened up my eyes, and that's, that it's not enough for me to just not be racist, that I should be holding people accountable and help open their eyes like you have. I've always respected you for what you've done and what you've said to me, and I never really thanked you for that. And thank you for looking out for me when I made my Major League debut. You're truly an awesome human being, and thanks. And guys like you are making the world a better place, and I got your back on the Plus One Effect."
Tony Kemp is black. He believes that open dialogue is the key to healing. At the sports desk, Kevin Radich, KCBS.
For over 50 years, European Sleepworks has weathered the slings and arrows of retail business by staying true to the only people who truly count, their customers. Now, during these tough times, they take the COVID virus very seriously. They practice safe distancing and everything else to keep all visitors as secure as possible. Just another example of European Sleepworks putting the customer first. They still make their fine mattresses from superior European components that they assemble right here in their own factory, and they sell them from their own comfortable store. They recognize that, at least for the time being, the selling process is going to change a little bit. Oh, they still make Herculean efforts to service your particular sleep needs, and after decades on the job, they know how to do it the right way, under any circumstance. European Sleepworks, at the corner of Adeline and Ashby in Berkeley, on the web at sleepworks.com.
KCBS News Time, 4:48. We'll get a look at the 6-day forecast in a moment. Right now, though, let's get back out to the roads with an update on traffic. Here's Peter.
There's a crash in Rodeo. This is 80 westbound, just past Cummings Skyway. A 3-car crash blocking the 3 left lanes. And your report is brought to you by Hint Water. It started when a car lost a wheel, spun around, and then the other cars were suddenly involved. You come to the backup westbound 80 after you leave the Carquinez Bridge and approach Cummings Skyway. In Sonoma County, Highway 37 eastbound. This is just beyond Highway 121, right about the Fresh Air Bridge. A 2-car crash. Both of those cars had been moved off to the right-hand shoulder, but it is why you have that stretch of slow traffic now, eastbound 37 as you pass Highway 121. In San Mateo County, beach traffic is crowding Highway 92 westbound going to Half Moon Bay from Upper 35 to Lemos Farm. Highway 1 at the coast, some stretches of slow traffic between Pacifica and Half Moon Bay. Hint is pure water infused with surprisingly true fruit flavors, including watermelon, blackberry, and cherry. No sugar, no sweeteners, and no calories. Available in your local grocery store or at drinkhint.com. Hint, water with a touch of true fruit flavor. Your next traffic update at 4:58 on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
6-day forecast as we look to get you back to work tonight will be in the 50s, and we will see some cloud cover at the coast and around the bay, mostly clear inland. Tomorrow it should be nice if you're going to be in the valleys, mid-80s. 70s to low 80s around the bay and 60s at the beaches. We may get a little bit of drizzle along the coast on Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, partly cloudy at the beaches and by the bay. Morning clouds inland with afternoon sunshine. Temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to the mid and upper 80s inland. And then on Saturday, partly cloudy by the water, sunny inland, temperatures again in the 70s to low 80s around the bay. About 10 to 12 degrees cooler if you're going to be right at the coast, and mid 80s to low 90s inland, so a few degrees warmer there. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on All News 106.9 and AM 740 KCBS. KCBS News Time, 4:51. South Bay water officials say they need your help tracking down some signs, and they're offering cash prizes. KCBS reporter Keith Manconi explains.
The Santa Clara Valley Water District has put down an awful lot of different signs over the years, providing directions, warnings, factoids, but time has taken its toll.
The harsh conditions have rendered the signs illegible, and you can barely make out our logo.
Kristen Yasukawa with the district says, making matters worse, there aren't really any good records of where all the signs are located. So to find them, they're launching an event that they're calling the Great Sign Hunt,
which is an outdoor scavenger hunt to inventory Valley Water signs throughout the county.
Residents can catalog their finds using a dedicated mobile app, and those who find the most stand to win cash prizes. Yasukawa says fortunately, many residents won't have to go much out of their way.
A lot of people are commuters, bike commuters, or on the trails for exercise. And we thought it would be a great idea to involve the community, and they could also learn about Valley Water along the way.
The event runs through October. In the Silicon Valley Bureau, Keith Menconi, KCBS.
California's Attorney General has agreed to investigate the destruction of evidence by Vallejo police involved in the fatal shooting of Sean Monterosa. The 22-year-old was killed by police in June. The windshield that officers shot through had been destroyed. John Burris is representing Monterosa's family, and he's calling on the state attorney general to investigate the shooting, not just the destruction of evidence.
The community has a total lack of confidence in the integrity of Vallejo PD, one, to conduct any form of investigation, but also in terms of holding their officers accountable.
California Attorney General Javier Becerra had previously said an investigation into the shooting should be left up to the local prosecutors. With the closures of all indoor operations, Santa Clara County mosques have had to find some unusual solutions to continue worship services. Coalition of South Bay Mosques worked with the Santa Clara County Public Health Department to allow for 3 prayers a day to be hosted outside and a half dozen on Fridays. The Evergreen Islamic Center started hosting outside prayers earlier this month, initially restricting prayers to only 25 people who were required to register on Eventbrite beforehand. Now it is extended to 35 people for each prayer session. California's Attorney General is joining with other states in a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Education. It's over changes in laws that protect people who take out student loans, and they wound up being defrauded by 4 public colleges or predatory lenders. For more, here's reporter Pete Demetrio with Radio.com station KNX in Los Angeles.
California Attorney General Javier Becerra says the suit takes aim at new rules under the borrower defense regulations passed by Congress 4 years ago. Those rules, pushed by Education Secretary Betsy DeVos, in Becerra's opinion, are heavily weighted to favor for-profit colleges and lenders who charge excessive interest on student loans.
They rigged the system so that maybe 4 of every 100 victimized students could now gain relief as opposed to under the 2016 rule. And that by itself is bad.
Becerra believes the new rules violate the original intent of Congress to protect students from corrupt colleges or lenders, and he believes the lawsuit will be successful since they've litigated this matter twice before in the federal courts and they've won each time.
Now on to the Money Watch. Here's Brian Banmiller on KCBS.
Art is meant to be admired, or in one case, stolen. I'm Brian Banmiller on business. Recently, an art exhibit opened in Tokyo to packed crowds. Some people were there to look at the works, others to buy, but most were casing the joint. Hours after the gallery closed, a large crowd had formed, all ready to grab what they could carry and make a break for it. The difference to most robberies, it was completely legal, and police officers were there to clear the road of traffic. The event was intended as an experiment to alter the relationship between artists and visitors. It was also designed to bring more people in to check out the work and give the artists an idea of what people considered good enough to steal. But word spread so fast that a large crowd gathered, and what was meant to last for 10 days lasted for 10 minutes. In some cases, people showed up ready to snatch and grab, but found nothing left. Others made off with 1 or 2 items they planned to sell or keep, and maybe there were some using it for practice. Brian Banmiller, CBS News.
Hi, Steve Bitker here for Xfinity, and now through August 9th, you can get Xfinity X1 and a gig speed upgrade for 1 year when choosing the package that's just right for you. You'll get the ultimate entertainment experience featuring the Xfinity Sports Zone, the best way to catch live sports scores and highlights. Yes, golf and soccer are back, and the NBA and NHL playoffs are coming next month. Plus, X1 has all your streaming apps like Hulu, Netflix, and now Peacock in one place. You can easily search for them along with live TV on demand and DVR recordings with the X1 Voice remote. So if you want more to watch with more to experience, Xfinity has you covered. This offer ends August 9th, so go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Gig speed upgrade requires qualifying double play or triple play package. After promo, regular rates apply. Subscriptions required to access Netflix and Hulu.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
Healthy Family Activities, presented by Stanford Children's Health.
Help reduce your kids' unhappiness or loneliness while they're at home by making a happiness box. Work with them to decorate an old shoebox with bright colors, smiley faces, and other happy things, then fill the box with things that make your child happy. A favorite book, maybe a photo or a joke that makes them smile.
For your child's healthcare needs, contact a Stanford pediatrician at any of our 25 pediatric offices across the Bay Area. Stanford Children's Health.
I'm giving Jeb's basement renovations 1 star. He kept asking me what's behind the walls down there. I'm like, why? What do you know?
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
And then he's like, you can trust me with the job. And I'm all like, trust?
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Yeah, he charged me less than he said he would, which is lying.
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
It's the perfect time for a powerful business refresh during Dell Technologies Cyber Savings Event. It starts now with up to 50% off high-performance Windows 10 business laptops, desktops, and servers, plus top brand electronics. It's also your chance to streamline IT and simplify PC life cycles with PC as a service. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 10 Pro for business. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
For muscle pain, body aches, to strains, Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis. It works fast and you won't stink. Its unique formula with emu oil penetrates deep to relieve arthritis pain, sore muscles, joints, and more.
KCBS News Time, 4:58. Let's get another check of traffic before the 5 o'clock news. Here's Peter Schofield.
Going back to Rodeo for this report, Dan, this is 80 westbound just past Cummings Skyway. A 3-car crash blocking the 3 left lanes. The tow trucks are on the way, but until then, you will have this backup that begins before Cummings Skyway. I had some help on that from the KCBS Waze force, having joined by downloading the Waze app. The East Shore Freeway in Berkeley, sluggish off and on, 80 westbound from Gilman to Powell Street. In the Santa Cruz Mountains, Highway 17 northbound, struggling to recover from when protest activity took over the highway earlier this afternoon. The protest has moved on, but northbound 17 still slow from Idlewild to Lark Avenue in Los Gatos. At the peak of the protest, traffic was going off to Highway 9, which is still slow approaching Highway 35. Your next traffic update at 5:08 with Joe Hughes on the Traffic Leader, KCBS.
All right, thanks very much for this afternoon, Peter. And our forecast tonight calling for some clouds with fog right at the coast, lows in the mid to upper 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy around the bay, and then sunshine by the afternoon. The valley should look nice with temperatures there in the 80s. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on KCBS. It is Sunday, July 19th, 2020, and coming up on KCBS.
This is Matt Bigler. The spread of the coronavirus in prisons has added urgency to calls to ban privately run detention centers in California.
I'm Curtis Kim. The incoming president of the UC system counters critics that dropping standardized testing will hurt incoming students.
We wanted to remove any potential barriers for students.
And President Trump says polls that show him trailing Joe Biden are fake. CBS News covers the world next.
When you need to know, KCBS AM, KFRC FM, and HD1. San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, a radio.com station.
5 o'clock. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Futterman in Los Angeles. New research from South Korea shows older children can spread coronavirus just as effectively as adults. Dr. David Aga says officials should consider these reports.
Studies like this in South Korea are giving us real data about understanding the kinetics of spread of the virus, which is very important. And when we look at policy, it has to be tied to data like this.
Florida is one of the COVID-19 hotspots. On ABC's This Week, Florida Congresswoman Donna Shalala attacked the idea of reopening the state in order to save the economy.
We simply cannot protect the economy if we don't protect the lives of the people in our community. And I'm particularly concerned because this disease is targeted towards seniors and towards the poorest in our community.
New York Senator Chuck Schumer today said schools must be very careful before they reopen fully.
We have to open the schools safely. We know that both the president puts pressure on CDC and FDA not to do what the scientists say is the safest, but we have to listen to the scientists. And we in Congress, in the Senate and the House, we Democrats are fighting for the truth and for science.
80-year-old golfing great Jack Nicklaus today disclosed he and his wife both tested positive for COVID-19.
Back in mid-March, Barbara and I both contracted coronavirus. Barbara was asymptomatic. I had a sore throat and a cough, and it didn't last very long.
He spoke with Jim Nantz of CBS Sports. NFL players say they are concerned about COVID-19 safety.
They're some of the NFL's biggest names with some even bigger issues. Players like Super Bowl winning quarterback Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints, frustrated by the league ignoring advice from its own medical experts. Brees tweeting, if the NFL doesn't do their part to keep players healthy, there is no football in 2020. Seattle Seahawks Russell Wilson, whose wife is pregnant, also took to Twitter saying, we want to play football, but we also want to protect our loved ones. Other issues include testing, opt-out clauses, and preseason games. Lisa Mateo, CBS News.
A triple murder in Florida has Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd quite shaken.
I've been to a lot of murder scenes in my life, and this ranks among the worst I've been to.
Polls currently show President Trump trailing Joe Biden, but Mr. Trump doesn't seem too worried.
First of all, I'm not losing because those are fake polls. They were fake in 2016, and now they're even more fake.
He was on Fox News Sunday. This is CBS News.
You can listen to CBS News Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app. Download it today.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $500 million for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Town Bicycle Shop in Arkansas is doing its part to ease the COVID-19 related bike shortage. CBS's Jim Krasula explains.
A Benton, Arkansas bicycle repair shop called the Holy Roller is fixing donated broken bikes and giving them away for free. Owner Denise Whitworth says it's simply giving back to the community.
It's just what we love to do.
11-year-old Aberett Wilson was thrilled to finally be able to get a bicycle.
This is a good thing for them to do. They're going to make a lot of people happy.
Bike sales have soared, leading to a shortage during the coronavirus pandemic. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
More information on that Twitter hack last week. Twitter now says the hack, which compromised the accounts of some of its most high-profile users, targeted 130 people. The hackers were able to reset the passwords of 45 of those accounts. In a blog, the company tells its users, "We're embarrassed, we're disappointed, and we're sorry." I'm Steve Futterman, CBS News.
5:05 at the Bay Area's news station, KCBS. Looks like we'll have a nice day tomorrow with temperatures again in the 70s and low 80s around the Bay. I'm Dan Mitchinson. Here's what's happening. With the increase in the spread of coronavirus in prisons across California, there's a new urgency to end for-profit prisons in the state. KCBS's Matt Bigler has details on a new bill being considered in Sacramento.
Assembly Bill 32 would ban for-profit prisons and immigration detention centers in California. Humberto Hernandez was detained at one such center last year. He describes himself as a queer person of color and says he was made to feel helpless and vulnerable.
They constantly scream at you. They use homophobic slurs. The cells are small.
4 detainees to a room, which he says makes it almost impossible to avoid infections.
Now with the threat of COVID-19, they're spraying these horrible chemicals and exposing everyone to the fumes hourly.
Immigration activists are backing AB 32, but Sandy Valenciano with the Immigrant Legal Resource Center is also calling for the immediate release of detainees who cannot be protected from COVID-19.
These cages
are not meant to keep our people safe.
Last week, a proposal to convert 2 prison facilities in the Central Valley to privately run immigration detention centers was put on hold by a federal judge. Matt Bigler, KCBS.
The new University of California president says nothing is more important right now than wearing masks. KCBS's Curtis Kim reports this comes as the university system plans to have most classes offline in the fall.
Michael Drake is not only a career educator, but an ophthalmologist as well. Dr. Drake spent the past 6 years as president of Ohio State University. Speaking on CBS's Face the Nation, the incoming president said the college system's decision to drop the requirement for standardized testing as a requirement for admissions is not a lowering of educational standards.
Then we use a variety of things to determine the qualifications for students who are going to be admitted to our universities. We're very proud that we have so many students interested in attending, and we have to judge between them.
The new president said leading an educational system during a pandemic is challenging.
Most important thing for all of us, I think, in this phase is to wear masks.
Besides attending both UCSF and Stanford, Dr. Drake is on the board of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In San Francisco, Curtis Kim, KCBS.
National climate debate is getting a hearing right here in the Bay Area. KCBS reporter Keith Manconi tells us about a recent town hall meeting organized by a North Bay congressman.
Congressman Jared Huffman is making the case for the Democrats' recently released Climate Crisis Action Plan. He brought that vision home to voters during a virtual town hall this past week, during which he laid out the plan
and next steps to try to get this country on a path to dramatically reduce emissions and hold global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
The Crisis Action Plan sets as its goal achieving a net zero emission economy by 2050. How to get there?
Different sectors of the economy have different recommendations and policies, but the electricity that we use is going to have to be 100% clean, and that can happen very quickly.
Other recommendations include increasing public investment in clean energy technology, as well as strengthening emission standards. Republican House members, meantime, are pushing back against the proposals, arguing that they'll disrupt the U.S. economy, but do nothing to address growing emissions from other countries. Keith Manconi, KCBS.
KCBS News Time, 5:08. Look at traffic coming up in 20 seconds.
The station you know.
KCBS reporter Holly Quad at UCSF's Mission Bay campus in San Francisco.
The people you trust.
Nurses tell her they're already being told to conserve masks, and the much-feared surge in cases hasn't even happened.
Familiar voices connecting with you wherever you are on the Bay Area's news station, KCBS.
Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on KCBS. Let's get an update now from Joe Hughes.
Dan, we're keeping our eye on this backup in Rodeo, 80 westbound before Willow Avenue. It's a 3-car crash that is still blocking at least the left lane, though at times it's been blocking as many as the 3 left lanes, while emergency crews and tow trucks have been there at the scene. So expect to find very heavy traffic just after exiting the Carquinez Bridge, and you're going to find a delay continuing until just after Willow Avenue. Sonoma, Highway 37 eastbound, about a mile after Sears Point. We've got a crash that is now over on the right-hand shoulder, but still causing delays. And we are seeing very heavy beach traffic once again as people have been flocking to the beaches, trying to find some relief from the inland heat. So far, traffic is slow along Highway 1 in stretches in both directions between Pacifica and Half Moon Bay, and traffic also stacked up and heavy in both directions of Highway 92 between Highway 1 and 280. Another look at the roads coming to you at 5:18 on the traffic leader.
You can expect some dense coastal fog tonight, not only at the coast but around the bay at times. It'll be clear inland. Temperatures should stay in the mid to upper 50s just about everywhere. Those clouds are going to stick around tomorrow through at least midday around the bay and at the water. Nice inland, though, with temperatures again into the mid and upper 80s, 70s and 80s around the bay, and mid 60s at the coast. Traffic and weather together on the 8s on KCBS. More than 40 Alameda County Sheriff's Department employees have tested positive for COVID-19 since March. And as we hear from KCBS reporter Melissa Culross, 2 of the cases have been critical.
Avoiding COVID-19 can be hard for first responders, including sheriff's deputies.
We're doing everything we can. We got PPE. We're doing the social distancing. But you got to remember, our job, we work in close quarters with people. We sit in a car with a person a couple feet away from us.
Sergeant Ray Kelly with the Alameda County Sheriff's Department says dozens of deputies and administrative employees have tested positive for COVID-19 since the pandemic began, but there currently are only 10 active cases. Everyone else who contracted the disease has recovered. The department has seen an increase in cases recently, and there's an outbreak at the Santa Rita jail. But Kelly says
the surges and spikes that we've seen are consistent with the surges and spikes that we've seen in the community. The more people are out and about, the more people are being active, the more people are coming in close contact with each other, the more you see the virus spread.
One sheriff's deputy and one other department employee have been hospitalized in critical condition as they fight the disease. Melissa Call-Ross, KCBS.
Why the WNBA's MVP won't be able to opt out just ahead. This portion of the news sponsored by Star One Credit Union. Come get the Star treatment at Star One.
Securities and advisory services offered through United Planners Financial Services, member FINRA and SIPC. Vitucci and Associates and United Planners are not affiliated.
In these uncertain times, you may be wondering if your financial future is secure. This is no time to leave your investments to chance. Don't invest and forget is advice that makes a lot of sense right now. For the last 30 years, thousands of your Bay Area neighbors have built stronger financial futures by working with Vitucci and Associates and don'tinvestandforget.com. Their advisors can help you make the transition into retirement with confidence. They can help identify your financial goals and create a holistic financial plan to get you there. You're invited to schedule a free, no-obligation consultation and in-depth evaluation of your current financial situation. You can visit one of their many Bay Area offices, or a video conference, or a phone call. No obligation. Just call 888-PLAN-WISE or visit don'tinvestandforget.com. That's 888-PLAN-WISE or don'tinvestandforget.com.
All across the North Bay, people are doing their best to stay well, eating healthy, working out, keeping their distance, and wearing masks. But there's one crucial thing too many folks are putting off: doctor's appointments. Marin Health has convenient clinics throughout the North Bay that are part of UCSF Health, with expert primary care providers and specialists like cardiologists, orthopedists, urologists, and more. We're offering video appointments so you can see your doctor from the comfort of your home. Or if needed, you can come in. Our clinics are clean, safe, and disinfected regularly. Plus, we're scheduling appointments at intervals and reducing wait times. If you're managing a chronic condition like diabetes or hypertension, or you have a new health concern, don't wait to see the doctor. Marin Health Medical Network offices are open, and our doctors are in. Find one at mymarinhealth.org.
It's the perfect time for a powerful business refresh during Dell Technologies Cyber Savings Event. It starts now with up to 50% off high-performance Windows 10 business laptops, desktops, and servers, plus top-brand electronics. It's also your chance to streamline IT and simplify PC life cycles with PC as a service. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 10 Pro for business. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Making popcorn for movie night?
Whoa, who are you?
This is your wake-up call from TracFone Wireless. What if every time you tried a new streaming service, you had to buy a new TV?
That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, some wireless companies do that when you switch. Make you buy a new phone.
Right.
But TracFone Wireless lets you keep your phone and your number and your network, and gives you unlimited talk and text starting at $20 a month.
Seriously, who are you?
This is your wake-up call, people. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. Oh, you're burning it.
Oh, no.
Available at major retailers. See terms and conditions at TracFone.com.
Coming up on KCBS, what kind of influence does Elizabeth Warren really have when it comes to Joe Biden's political journey to the White House? We'll take a look at that in 5 minutes. Back to the sports desk and back over to Kevin Radich.
Reigning WNBA Most Valuable Player Elena Delle Donne was denied a medical appeal this week to opt out of the upcoming season. The Washington Mystics star has battled Lyme disease for 9 years, and she says she's been immune compromised for years.
My doctor, who's been treating me for 9 years, submitted a letter basically saying this isn't safe for her. So when I got the call that I was denied, I just was completely shocked. I didn't understand. And now it's almost like I'm asked to ignore the one doctor that heard me and has been treating me and is enabling me to kind of live a normal life with the protocol and the treatment he's had me on for years.
Delle Donne telling ESPN that dealing with Lyme disease has been a major struggle.
I mean, I take 64 pills a day, and throughout the day, I'm taking these. I know taking that much medication every day probably doesn't have a great effect on my long-term health, but I love the game of basketball. I found a protocol that sometimes works for me and enables me to play. But I think I'm just going to have to be way more open about my treatment, which I've been private about because, medical things, you're not always open. But I think people deserve my honesty and deserve to see the fight that I go through to just have a normal life, let alone be on a basketball court.
With the medical waiver, she would have received her full salary. And coming up next time, we'll explore the possible reason why she was turned down for a waiver. At the sports desk, Kevin Radich, KCBS.
That's what sleeping with a CPAP sounds like. If you can't use CPAP, imagine pressing a button and it sounding like this. That's sleeping with Inspire. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with one click of a remote. That's right, just a button. If you have sleep apnea, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
At Airport Home Appliance, we're more than just guaranteed low prices and the largest selection of appliance brands in Northern California. We're about finding the right appliance for the right people. That's why we carry the entire line of Fisher & Paykel. Fisher & Paykel designs appliances that deliver rich experiences with every use, turning daily routines into rituals. Upgrade to a Fisher & Paykel kitchen today and receive a 5% rebate plus a 5-year extended warranty at one of Airport Home Appliance's 6 Bay Area locations.
We're your connection.
Mayor Breed wants to see more businesses open. I'm being as aggressive as I can.
We are the team that's always covering your community.
They fenced off some of the street in front of the restaurant to create a patio.
We have some nice bistro tables, and we try to create the most comfortable atmosphere as possible.
We are your news station, KCBS.
If you're only monitoring your credit to help protect your identity, you could miss certain threats like your info for sale on the dark web. Good thing there's LifeLock Identity Theft Protection. Get LifeLock now and save more during their special summer sale. Go to LifeLock.com, use promo code RISK. Sale ends July 20th.
KCBS News Time 5:18. Let's start Rodeo this time and get an update on traffic with Joe Hughes.
Well, it is good news in Rodeo. 80 westbound before Willow Avenue, we had a 3-car crash that at times was blocking as many as 3 lanes, but all of that has been cleared. All lanes are open, and all that delay that we saw stacked up back actually onto the Carquinez Bridge, that is all gone. So it very quickly, traffic has gotten moving. We do have a little bit of slowing just ahead, just after Pinole Valley Road, as this traffic has started to release, but not seeing those heavy delays that we've seen for the better part of an hour going through Rodeo. Getting reports of a new crash in the Santa Cruz Mountains, Highway 17 southbound. Looks like it's shortly after Summit. The 2 cars involved trying to get over to the right-hand shoulder. Looks like they may safely be able to do so. And a crash on the Richmond Parkway just before Pittsburgh Avenue. It's a hit-and-run crash involving a motorcycle. The fire department is heading out to the scene to deal with some possible injuries. We'll have another check of traffic for you at 5:28 on the traffic leader, KCBS.
6-day forecast and calling for dense fog around the coast again tonight. Lows in the 50s, clear inland for the next couple of days. We'll have morning clouds and afternoon sunshine with temperatures almost everywhere from the 70s to the mid and upper 80s, unless you're going to be right at the water, in which case it'll be into the 60s. And then Wednesday through Friday, partly cloudy by the coast and by the bay. Morning clouds inland with afternoon sunshine. We'll hit 90s inland on Saturday. 80s around the bay, maybe a few mid-70s and mid-60s to low 70s at the coast. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on KCBS. As presidential hopeful Joe Biden continues his campaign ahead of the November election, could former competitor and now vice presidential contender Elizabeth Warren play a role in future policies? And joining us with more on the KCBS Ring Central Newsline is Jack Pitney, professor of American politics at Claremont McKenna College. Professor, I want to ask you, Senator Elizabeth Warren, why are we hearing more buzz about her right now when until recently it seemed like Kamala Harris was the front runner and who everybody was talking about?
Well, Kamala Harris probably still is the front runner, but Elizabeth Warren is running close behind. One reason is that Vice President Biden is following her lead on a number of issues, such as bankruptcy reform, student